Welcome back to episode 2. At the end of the last episode, we earned the Artie Cloak 1 by finishing the Artie Easy Diaries. In this episode, I want to try and work on some combat stats through questing, most notably attack. The first quest that I need to do for attack is going to be Mountain Daughter, and that actually requires 20 agility to do, so I can't do it on this next quest run through, so I will first knock out Jungle Potion, and then we'll move on. And that is the completion of Jungle Potion, a very quick and easy quest giving 775 Herblore experience and going from level 6 to level 11. So now that I have 5 levels to work with, I can go and get level 20 agility and I can go do the Mountain Daughter quest. So that's going to start off my attack grind. One thing that I didn't mention in the last video was how much experience you can earn outside of questing to reach the minimum level needed for the quest cape. So for attack and strength, you can't actually earn any experience outside of questing. All the experience has to come from quests or else you'll go over the level 50 requirement for each. I think the total experience gives a little bit over 50, so I may be 51 or 52 in those skills. So any attack or any melee that I do, I'll need to stick with defense, as I do have a little bit of leeway because the minimum defense requirement for the quest cape is level 65. So I have a couple 100,000 experience to work with. With that being said, I can earn up to 1.1 million magic experience outside of questing, so that's going to be my primary focus for any combat needed in quests, as I have a lot of leeway to work with there. If you remember from the last episode, I did not claim the final reward from the Stronghold of Security, so I picked up my last 5k, and I'm going to pick up some runes so I can train a little bit of magic and hit points prior to doing the Mountain Daughter quest, and I also need to finish up that agility level as well. So with the runes, I decided to go over to Moss Giants and I picked up 3 magic levels and 1 hit points level, bringing my total level to 199. The last level needed will be level 20 agility, and then I can go ahead and start the Mountain Daughter quest. And there we have level 20 agility. That'll bring my total level up to 200 and unlock the Mountain Daughter quest. One thing I didn't really mention is that to train my attack by just doing quests, there are a couple other skills I need to level as well. So I can do the Mountain Daughter quest. That should get me from level 1 to level 9 attack. But then the next quest I need to do for attack experience will be Death Plateau. And that actually requires that I have 10 cooked trout as well. And because I don't have access to Canifis yet, I can't get those trout. So what I need to do is train up my fishing and cooking as well. So once I finish Mountain Daughter, I'll move over to some fishing quests. I think I'll do fishing contest, and then I will also do Gertrude's cat for the cooking experience. Once I get that, then I can do the Death Plateau quest and continue the attack grind. So here's a breakdown of all the quests that I'll be completing in this episode for attack experience. Starting out with Mountain Daughter to get me from level 1 to level 9 attack. Death Plateau will go from 9 to 19, so that's a full 10, so I can't earn any other experience on that quest. No levels from magic or hit points or anything like that, so I just need to make sure that I have that perfectly down. Vampire Slayer after that's going to take me from 19 to 26. Tree Gnome Village is going to do 26 to 34. And Fight Arena after that is 34 to 38. And then the last one will be the Grand Tree, which is going to take me from 38 to 43. And there are some agility requirements needed in this as well, and I'll get a lot of agility levels as well as that. So I'll just need to make sure that I have the right levels prior to it so I don't go over that 10 level threshold for each one. And this should be the end of the quest here. That is Mountain Daughter completed. 2,000 prayer experience, but the most important one is 1,000 attack experience, and of course the bear mask as well. So that is level 9 attack. And that is the beginning of our attack grind. So we're at 208 total level. I will need to work on getting fishing and cooking up for 10 trout for Death Plateau. So now I need to take a small detour and start working on some of those skills. I think I'll start by just cooking some chickens first to get to level 6 cooking. And then I will do Gertrude's cat after that for additional cooking experience. This will be the completion of Gertrude's cat for 1,525 experience in cooking. So that's going to take me from level 6 to, I believe, 13. Then I also get a kitten as well. And with the Artie Easy Diaries completed, when the kitten grows into a cat, I can then trade the cat in for 200 death runes, which I will most likely use just for additional GP, as I don't really need death runes at this moment. Mind runes are more important to me just because I can get more of them and a lot more experience with them. So that is the completion of that quest, and now I just need to go and start working on fishing. I was only able to get 1 fishing level and 2 cooking levels to round out my next total level milestone. So that is level 15 cooking and 2 fishing for 220 total level. While I'm in the area, I'm just going to knock out Pirate's Treasure now. It doesn't give any experience, so I can use the next 10 levels in total to work on fishing and cooking. And that is Pirate's Treasure completed, so no experience gained, so it keeps me at 220 total level, and I can use the rest of that to start working on my fishing grind. Because level 15 is all you need to cook trout, I decided to use all 10 levels on fishing, so there is level 12 fishing and 230 total level. At level 10 fishing, you do unlock the fishing contest quest, so that's the next quest that I'm going to do on the list. I do need to get 20 fishing for those trout, so I believe the fishing contest quest from this level will pick me up all the way up to level 19. And that is a very easy quest to complete, but with that, that's going to be the end of fishing contest, 2,437 fishing experience, and the access through the White Wolf Mountain tunnels. So that's always important as well, as I don't want to die on the mountain, but that is level 19 fishing. We just need 1 more to catch those trout. Pretty quick level to pick up. That is level 20 fish. I can now catch trout. So I need to catch 10 trout and also get 10 bread as well for the Death Plateau quest. I think I did the math though. If I catch 10 raw trout, I don't think I can cook them all underneath the 240 total level requirement before I can start. So I may need to do 1 more filler quest in between before I do Death Plateau. And there we have level 20 thieving. I decided to use the thieving grind to get my bread as well. I didn't have enough levels to get the trout all cooked, so I'm going to go ahead and just move over to the dwarf cannon quest. In the meantime, it is in the area, pretty quick quest to complete, and then I can go ahead and cook those trout. There is the completion of the dwarf cannon quest for 750 crafting experience. That's going to get me from level 15 to level 17 crafting. So now I have 8 levels to get ready for Death Plateau. First off, I'll need to cook the 10 raw trout in my inventory. Hopefully I don't burn too many of them, and then if I do need to catch more, I'll have to go back and get some fishing levels as well. And this is why I did Dwarf Cannon before Death Plateau. I burnt 8 out of 10 trout, so I need to catch more, which will level up my fishing, and then I'll also get more than 2 cooking levels. So good call on my part to not do Death Plateau next after that. My cat was fully grown, so I decided to sell it in West Arty for the 200 death runes, and my cash stack is now sitting at a nice 24k. Okay, there we go. That is 10 cooked trout completed. I ended up getting 22 fishing and 17 cooking, leaving me at 246 total level. I think I'm going to go work on some agility now so I can get it ready for the Gnome storylines. And there we have level 22 agility and 250 total level. I decided to stay at the fishing for 1 more level for fishing and cooking, but now we are at 250 total level and can go do Death Plateau. Easy quest to complete there. There is Death Plateau completed for 3,000 attack experience, so it took me from level 9 to 19 attack. So that's going to be one of those cases where 10 total levels is given on the reward from the quest. So that's going to jump me right into my next quest, which is also going to gain me some attack levels, and that's going to be Vampire Slayer. It's amazing how easy these quests are with protection prayers. Usually you do these quests before you get 43 prayer, but nonetheless, that is the completion of Vampire Slayer and level 26 attack. So we're at 267 total level. We have a couple levels to work with before we move on to our next quest. For the remaining 3 levels, I picked up 1 hit points, 1 magic, and 1 thieving level. So now we are sitting at 270 total level, and we're going to move on to our very first Gnome storyline quest, and it's going to be the Tree Gnome Village quest. As with Vampire Slayer, so much easier with the protection prayers. You don't have to worry about getting them into a safe spot or luring them away and then trying to farcast them. So this will be a pretty easy boss fight. And that is the completion of the Tree Gnome Village quest for a healthy 11,000 attack experience. So that's going to bring me from level 26 attack all the way up to level 34 attack. So we're sitting at 278 total level. Just 2 more levels before we can do our next quest. Decided to use the Spirit Tree to get to the Gnome Stronghold and pick up level 24 agility and 280 total level. So that unlocks our next quest, and we are going to move on to Fight Arena. This will be the completion of Fight Arena for 12,000 attack experience and 2,100 thieving experience, going from 34 to 38 attack and 21 to 24 thieving. So I have 3 more levels left before I can move on to my next quest. The last quest needed for the attack experience for this episode is going to be the Grand Tree, but I'm going to take a slight detour before I get there. So the Grand Tree quest does require 25 agility, but with the experience reward from the quest, I'll actually get, I think, 12 total levels, which I can't do. So I need to get a higher agility level to allow me to get just 10 total levels from the quest reward. So I'm actually detouring, and I'm going to do Tourist Trap to get the remaining agility experience needed, but I need to get my smithing up as well because I want to use one of the 2 lamps on smithing for that quest reward as well. So the plan begins with Doric's quest. Very simple. Got all the supplies back in Varrock, so I'm just going to turn it in now and get a little bit of mining experience. And then I also need to start working on 10 fletching as well, because that is a requirement for the Tourist Trap. So with these last arrowheads, this will put me at level 7 smithing and 300 total levels. I still need to work on mining and smithing a little bit more, so I'm just going to do the Black Knight's Fortress quest because it's in the area. I have the med helm here, and I'll just go buy the iron chain body. But let's go ahead and move on to that quest, and then we can start working on our fletching grind. Not much to say about this quest. That's 3 quest points and 2,500 coins for 62 total quest points, and the 30th quest completed on the account. And that is level 8 fletching. I also picked up 2 smithing levels and 1 mining level to round me out to 310 total level. 10 fletching is required for Tourist Trap, and I do need a higher smithing level as well for the reward. So I will have to find a filler quest prior to doing that one. Man, it was a struggle to find a partner for the Shield of Erev quest, but that is the completion of the quest, 600 coins, and shout out to Apple Lemony. I finished up the 10 fletching grind for Tourist Trap, and now I need to get my smithing level all the way up to level 20 before I can do the quest, just because of the rewards that it gives. It'll end up giving me 10 total levels from the agility and smithing experience. So I'm going to hop worlds at the Motherlode mine and just repair the struts. It's a pretty fast experience, and you don't have to worry about mining anything, so I don't have to waste any of my levels currently on mining. But I will check back in when I finish up. This will put me at 320 total level with the 17 smithing. Again, I do need level 20, so I just need another filler quest to allow me to repair a couple more struts and get my smithing up to 20. And that is the completion of Clock Tower. 1 quest point, 500 coins. Quick quest and not much of a reward, but that is giving me 10 total levels to work with, so I need the 20 smithing, and then I'll need to fill out the remaining 7 levels. 20 smithing completed here at the Motherlode mine, so that will be all of the requirements needed for Tourist Trap, and now I just have 6 levels to go until I can begin that quest. I ended up doing a mix of leveling up, so I got 1 thieving, 1 crafting, and 4 woodcutting levels, so that brings me up to my 330 total level. And let's go and knock out the Tourist Trap so we can do the Grand Tree. Wrapping up the Tourist Trap quest here, so I get my 2 reward lamps for, I think it's 4,650 experience. So the first one will go into smithing from 20 to 26 smithing. So only have 4 levels to work with. I hope I did the math right on this one. The other one I will put on agility, so that should bring me up to level 29 agility, I hope. Yep, there we go. So 340 total level. That will allow me to do my next quest right away. That is the completion of the Knight Sword quest. That's going to bring me from 26 smithing to 34, giving me 2 levels to work with. The reason I did this quest is because I did the math on the Grand Tree reward, and I do need a few more agility levels to make sure that I don't go over the 10 level restriction. So I'm going to knock out 2 more agility levels with that before I do the Grand Tree. Level 30 agility achieved on the Alcarid course. That unlocks the Varrock rooftop course, and now that I have level 30 agility, I'm going to do something that most Ironmen probably should never do, and that's going to use this lamp on agility. I could wait until 30 herb lore, but it's just taking up space in my inventory. Not that I really have a ton of things in my inventory. I just want to use it and get out of the way. I'll do plenty of other diaries in the future, so I'll get plenty of experience lamps for Herblore. But that is level 31 agility, 350 total level, and we can go and do the Grand Tree quest. Very easy quest to complete with the safe spot of the demon at the end, but with this Daconia rock, I'll hand this into the king, and this will give me a whole bunch of experience. I think it's going to give me like 18,000 attack experience. Yes, so 18,400 attack, 7,900 agility, and 2,100 magic. So that's going to give me a whole lot of levels. So 31 to 35 agility, 38 to 43 attack, and then 33 to 34 magic. So the math worked out perfectly on that one. I picked up 10 levels total in that. That's going to open up the next quest for me, but I think that's going to do it for the end of this episode. I'll finish up this maze random, but that will call it quits. We are sitting at a whopping 360 total levels. Very proud about that, and we are going to start moving into the second phase of the account where I'm going to start filling up my inventory a lot more and get a looting bag.